no place like the Cube. Family, it's your favorite queer radio personality, Anna DeShawn, and this is Queer News, your favorite weekly news pod where race and sexuality meet politics, culture, and entertainment.
When trans youth are under attack, what do we do? Stand up for that. When trans youth are under attack, what do we do? Stand up for that. When I say trans, you say power. Trans. 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 When I say they can't, you say erase us. They can't. Erase us. They can't. Erase us. They can't. Erase us. They can't. Erase us.
Were you just chanting along? I'm just saying. If not, you should just rewind 30 seconds. Actually, it's 28, but you know, and just start over. Just start over. Allow this chant to be your affirmation so you never forget that we must protect our trans siblings, that we must protect trans kids, and that no matter what they do, they cannot erase us. The leading voice you heard was Jasmine Tasaki, founder and executive director of We Care Tennessee, and one of the co-managing executive directors of Black and Pink National. Now, if you want to learn more about her organizations, check out our resource guide in the show notes of this episode. Let me just say, family, I know I talk about the show notes every week, but this week in particular, I want you to take a moment, okay? Dig into the show notes and review all of these amazing organizations doing the work on the ground in their cities around the country. This list, okay, is dynamic, all right? Share it with somebody. Share it with somebody. Family, do you have a local news story not getting enough amplification? A queer organization other folks should know about? Are you an artist and you got a song coming out? Send in a queer news tip. I love hearing all of them, so please keep them coming. Info on how to submit is in the show notes. Now, QCrew, what's going on? We did it. We did it. WorldPride DC 2025 is in the books, and it would have been so much harder financially, family, for real, without your support. I want to say thank you to Sidetrack, Keep It Savory, and Equality Illinois for sponsoring our coverage. I want to thank all of you, because in 6 weeks, you helped me to raise just over $1,800 to support our WorldPride coverage. Thank you, Susan, Rachel, Carolyn, Jay, Rex, Lisa, Ariana, Julianne, Freedom, Andrew, and Kathy. I truly just can't say thank you enough. For real, okay? Uber is expensive. We had so much equipment, okay? We were there for a week. And really, truly, family, I could not have done it without you. So thank you for your continued commitment to helping me sustain this podcast. And if you're listening to this and you're not part of the QCrew, consider it, okay? The QCrew helps to cover the cost of our editor, Ryan, who I literally couldn't do this podcast without. So if you believe in the work we do, if you believe LGBTQ stories need to be amplified, if you love and respect how I report on the news and tell our stories, join the QCrew. A link is where? In the show notes. Now for the news. WorldPride DC was an amazing experience, family. Having the opportunity to connect with people from around the world as we worked our booth at the Human Rights Conference was pretty special. Having to use a translator app to communicate with people is what WorldPride is all about, you know? I interviewed the only out gay royal couple in the world. I spoke and met with Mish, a Black queer woman who has her own podcast out of New Zealand, you know? I can't wait to share these interviews with you throughout the month. And during the Human Rights Conference, we got to put our location sticker on the Interpride world map that showed where everyone was representing from. Let me tell you, from Greenland to Argentina to Iceland to Kiev to London to Syria and Ghana and Cape Town to Bangkok and Tokyo, family, there was representation from all over the world. And we also know there were so many who wanted to come but were denied entry. Those who had their visas ready. Those who had X markers on their IDs. Those who were too afraid because of the state of this country right now. There is no way we could celebrate World Pride and not remember those who couldn't be with us because of the ever-present hate and evil permeating in our country right now. Whew. Yeah, let's all just take a collective deep breath, okay? Whew. And I'll say this, family, even in the midst of all of that, we still chose to show up if we could, right? Which is a privilege in and of itself. We still choose joy. And that's how I know we're gonna survive this. I had the opportunity to participate in World Pride in so many different ways during my week in DC, from moderating the panel on faith and queerness to sitting on another panel about the importance of representation at the Human Rights Conference, to enjoying the nightlife. But Chile, please know this auntie was tired, okay? with a T and not a D, to marching alongside our trans siblings for the 7th annual National Trans Visibility March. I'm processing all of the experiences in real time, and I'm gonna be bringing those to you throughout the month, yeah? But as I cut all of the clips for today's episode and prepared to travel back home at 4 a.m., it was imperative that I bring you this special edition, Voices of World Pride. It's critical that I don't keep this to myself, but rather bring it back to you. So this episode is full of leaders and influencers and celebrities who are doing the work for LGBTQ liberation across the country, all in their own ways, whether it's through advocacy, the arts, or social media. All of it matters. And I truly believe if we all do our part, if we all do what we are called to do, we're gonna be all right. So let us begin with the voices from the National Trans Visibility March. The rally took place at the headquarters of the Human Rights Campaign, and the marchers walked to meet the people gathered at the Lincoln Memorial for the International Rally and March on Washington for Freedom. Now, I'm gonna list every single name you're about to hear, their title, okay, who they are, and then you're gonna hear their voices. This is what this episode is all about. So take a listen to Tori Cooper, Director of Strategic Outreach and Training at the Human Rights Campaign, who introduced the mother of the march, Lynn Morrison. Then hear from Marissa Miller, Senior Strategic Director for the National Trans Visibility March and founder of Trans Solutions Research and Resource Center. Then Bella Bautista, the first trans woman to qualify for Miss Georgia USA and winner of Miss Buckhead USA 2025. Vincent Folkes, founder of For the Boys PGH. Zahara Bassett, Chicago, Stand Up, founder and CEO of Life is Work. And Regina Livingston, Executive Director and founder of Unspoken Treasure Society. Then Toi Washington-Reynolds, founder and executive director of the Trans Women of Color Healing Project. And we'll close with Jae Douglas, 21-year-old activist, poet, speaker, and artist who Raquel Willis told me is someone all of us need to be looking out for. Take a listen, family. I really hope y'all enjoyed that. And all of Jay's mic drops, okay? Now let's take a quick break, and when we get back, let's hear from some of the voices that spoke at the International Rally and March on Washington for Freedom.
I want to remind you that your value as a human and as a trans person is not based on any executive order.
Yes.
Your very existence is evidence of the divine, and in whose image we are all wondrously and fearfully made. So no matter what you read or hear, just let that resonate with you. Let it stick down deep inside. I want to remind you that you are beautiful and the world is a better place because of each and every one of you in it. And please join me in welcoming to the stage someone who is definitely the mother of the march, a dear friend who I've known for many, many years, and whose idea it was to get all of us together to march to change the world, Miss Lynn Morrison.
I want to say this to you all. Your life is worth living, every single moment of it. every hardship you've endured, every struggle you've had to sacrifice, everyone that told you that you did not matter, they lied. And know this, we're not going back. There is no more closet for us. It's blown up and shattered into pieces. Understand your power, your passion, your purpose. We are made to live and thrive and live out loud. We're gonna show these folks what real freedom looks like with all of us. So please stand with us, stand with me, Marissa, Tori. We are standing on the shoulders of greatness here today. I love you all. I may not know you all, but I love you all. Let's get out here and do this thing. Love you.
Listen, this is a year of liberation. You know, with all the executive orders, and executive orders don't stop no movement, it was so important for us to be in D.C. at a time like this. When they told us that we could not come, we came anyway. And so today we celebrate. The National Trans Visibility March is in its 7th year. We are in partnership with WorldPride. We will be educating, we will be illuminating, and we will be advocating. And that is the way that we are going to do it. If you look around and you see all of these people, this is coalition building that we doing over the next 3.5 years. We will meet, we will coalition build, and we will continue to push forward. I and Dr. Elijah will be on the international stage, making it known that we are not going nowhere, period, dot.
There will be many wrongs committed under this presidency, make no mistake of that. But it is up to us to speak up, to fight back, and make it right. Now is not the time to pander, hoping they'll skip over us. Now is the time to push back hard, to take up space, and to stand 10 toes down for our sisters, our brothers, and everyone in between that has fallen, sweat, blood, and tears for us to be in this building today. To stand tall, no matter how much the ground shakes, no matter how many times we fall, no matter how many tanks they deploy or what guard that they send, what police force they send, honey, I will still be standing tall wherever I end up. Because we are the storm and we are just getting started. Thank you.
Being a Black trans man has taught me that my humanity is deeper than the perception and the labels created without my humanity in mind. And as I am surrounded by community, I feel something that I believe we all strive to feel and accomplish at some point, and that's contentment. Contentment in the depth of our humanity. Contentment in the knowing that we belong. That our being is sacred and real, pure and authentic. Because I believe that true humanity is about more than just doing better. It's about being better. It's about doing the work inside out, inside yourself, inside your community, at every turn, in every situation, especially with the community. Because if the house has no foundation, how are you going to walk outside and tell them to give us more? Why would they want to give us more if we can't give it to ourselves?
Trans Pride, National Trans Pride. Thank you so much for coming out and supporting us, E3 Radio Chicago. I want to tell the people that visibility is about showing up. Unity is about supporting others, even when it's not near and dear to your cause, because it affects us all.
And don't just show up for the National Trans Visibility Walk. Show up all year. Show up when we're not around. This is important. This is lives on the line. This is human lives. We are human. So show up 24/7. Don't just show up for show.
Things are extremely different. I think it's important that we're here. Yeah. It's no coincidence that it's Pentecost Sunday for those that are believers. This is the day when God gave the people the Holy Ghost and the Holy Spirit, gave us the ability to speak tongues, gave life and spirit to all of us. So this is the day where we march in unity and collection to show that God didn't forget about us and that we were part of God's commitment and God's promise. Yeah.
It's 2025. If you're trans, it takes luck and strategy to stay alive. There's more than that. There's education, relentless persistence. Want us to fall short, but we want to go the distance. Today, I march for you, but I need you to march for me. Some of you activists be really giving Marjorie. Sitting in privilege because y'all too busy wrecking green. I'm getting sick of the pseudo-solidarity. You're getting played while actively keeping grifters getting paid. And we're in pain fighting phonies in this office. Man, it's a shame how after all this time, you still treat us like a stain. Wrap us up like rhyme and bleach it down, give us the blame. It's 2025. How much longer will you neglect black trans lives? You think you're safe when you align yourself with tolerance. You line us up like sacrificial dominoes. No common sense. But listen, you show up for the drag shows and the festivals. Yes. Take a picture. This is movement, not a spectacle. Yes. I'm 21, so I'm trying to be respectable. But staying still and silent is just fucking unacceptable. Where it matters. Underfunded nonprofits on the brink of being shattered. You know who trailblazing? My transcestors in these trenches. Not the big wigs dripped in ice who be warming up the benches. It is 2025. I deserve to be compensated for my voice in time. I'm only 21. I'm making moves. I'm in my prime. And if y'all want to book me, you should. My work's sublime. My name is Jae Douglas. I'm so grateful to be here. Happy Pride, y'all. Thank you.
Mental health coverage is just as important as physical health coverage. In Illinois, mental health parity laws ensure that your coverage for mental health conditions and substance use disorders is not more restrictive than your coverage for physical health conditions. If your health plan has unlimited doctor visits for a condition like hypertension, then it must offer unlimited visits for a condition like depression. Learn more at getcoveredillinois.gov.
Howard Brown is excited to launch a new monthly outreach initiative at the South Shore Library. That's right, on the south side of Chicago. Starting on June 26th, you can visit the South Shore Library to get a free HIV and STI screening every single month. Blood pressure and diabetes screenings, as well as name change support and linkages to care are also provided on a rotating schedule. Allow your screening to be a pathway to long-term access to care. We've got to take care of ourselves, family. For more information, visit howardbrown.org. Hate is rising in Illinois. People like you and me are being harassed, attacked, and silenced. This isn't just wrong, it's dangerous, and it hurts all of us. Help Stop Hate is a free, confidential service that gives victims and witnesses the power to speak up. No judgment, no risk, just real help. When you report hate, you get support. Hate thrives in silence. Report hate to ilstophate.org or call 877-458-HATE. That is 877-458-4283. Help Illinois stop hate. Family, welcome back to the show. Now, let's keep the voices going, yes? Yes. Let's hear from Japer Bowles, Director of the Mayor's Office of LGBTQ Affairs in Washington, D.C., Evan Lowe, President and CEO of the LGBTQ+ Victory Fund, Raquel Willis, award-winning activist, journalist, and co-founder of the Gender Liberation Movement, Kenya Hutton, President and CEO of the Center for Black Equity, Chris Mosier, the first transgender athlete to represent the United States in international competition, known as the man who changed the Olympics. And we'll close the episode with Brian Michael Smith, actor and advocate. Family, truly, I hope that you leave this episode feeling inspired, feeling like you were there with us in spirit, and also feeling hope that we will indeed be okay. Make sure you're locked in to E3 Radio's YouTube channel because I'm going to be posting all of these interviews throughout the month. So turn on those notifications, okay, so you don't miss a thing. You know, this is Queer News Done Right. Till next week. Peace.
You know, struggle does mean that it's an opportunity for growth, leadership opportunity. As a person who helped support this endeavor, there were so many hurdles that constantly came up left and right, from the trans ban to kicking folks out of the military to potentially pulling permits against this. But we survived and we thrived. None of the permits were pulled. We were able to continue to get hundreds of thousands of people here to show up. And yes, it was for a party, but people are here to show up and show out. So that's what the festival, that's what the rally, and that's what all the different diversity of Pride events were about. Was showing our identity and being in spaces, and I'm just so proud of our local and regional community for showing out, because they really, really turned out, and a lot of pride, a lot of joy here.
Well, we are so energized by seeing basic humanity being lived each and every day. We see people from all across the world joining in World Pride, affirming our commitment to each other. And it goes without saying that, of course, it's a tenuous time being here in the nation's capital. And yet, in spite of that, we have so many allies and friends that are joining us in the spirit of remembering that Pride is a protest and to reaffirm our commitment to basic fundamental equality. Pride means to me the living existence of authenticity and celebrating the basic fundamentals of love.
We need these moments to gather and love on each other because the world is wild right now. It's a lot of chaos. And we also need these reminders that we're not alone, that there are other people that are living their truths, that are fighting in every industry, every corner of the world imaginable. I'm always thinking about the ancestors and transcestors who paved the way, so you can party, honey, but you need to party with a protest. Have a happy Pride. Give honor to your ancestors and transcestors. If you don't know any, dive into your history. I want to shout out Tourmaline for releasing The Joy and Defiance of Marsha P. Johnson, the definitive biography on her life. Learn about her as a movement for mother. And keep leaning into that light that lives inside of you, because queer and trans folks are so brilliant.
Practice self-care. Take care of yourself. When it comes time to turn off the news, turn it off. Take a breath, reset, and then continue joining us. Make your voices heard. If you're in a space where you're safe, advocate, use your voice, link up with other people, like-minded people to help elevate your message. Once we get our voices together and loud, they have no choice but to hear us. And if you are not comfortable or able to do that, support an organization, support an advocate, support an activist, support someone in some way, because we have to be in this together to get through everything.
I'm feeling so excited that we are having this rally here on the iconic steps of the Lincoln Memorial. It just feels so powerful. And what I've found in the last couple of days in being in D.C. at World Pride, Capitol Pride, is that the energy just feels different. It feels more joyful, more powerful, more organized, more resistant than I have felt in the last 6 months, which gives me a lot of hope. Keep showing up, keep showing up, keep showing up. Our liberation is collective, and we have to have each other's back because we keep us safe. The government won't keep us safe. The politicians won't keep us safe. The police will definitely not keep us safe. We keep us safe, so keep showing up for your people.
Pride means me, exactly what I said, standing 10 toes down in who you are. No matter what's happening outside of you, being connected to who you are on the inside, and standing in that no matter what's coming at you. Whatever you think separates you or whatever you think makes you unworthy or unlovable, that's your most powerful asset. And if you own it first, you're unstoppable. Hey, I'm Brian Michael Smith, and I'm always listening to the Queer News Podcast.
If you've enjoyed what you heard, rate and review us inside your favorite podcasting app. This podcast is written and produced by me, Anna DeShawn. Podcast editing by Ryan Woodhall. And brought to you by E3 Radio and distributed on The Cube. We are Queer News Done Right.